right, today is the 25th of August, 2021, Wednesday. Market closed at records high ahead of the Jackson Hole Symposium. All right, so we are just 2 days away from the Jackson Hole Symposium, and apparently now the market is still trading at the record high level. It's kind of expected because the market is saying that now there could be a little chance of a tapering. All right, so that is what's happening right now. And of course, if you look at this cartoon, I really like it a lot. Okay, initially I couldn't understand it. Probably I'm pretty bad with this. But this is the matador versus, okay, the bear talking. And the matador thinks that he can tame the bull, as we all know. But apparently the bear thinks that you are just a doormat. Right? I think it's a very classic cartoon that I really like. Okay, a lot of wisdoms I hear yourself. witty joke. I like it. All right, so you like it? Yeah, indeed. Good to see you guys. Angeline, Bahir, Richard. Wow, you guys are early today. Okay. Okay, Hang Seng is going to open. I know that, but disclaimer as usual, I need to do this. Make sure that you guys know what you are looking at. All right, please make sure that you accept the above and identify me. All right, quote of day, traders need a daily routine that they love. If they don't love it, you're going to do it. All right, this is very important. I know you all want to see the Hang Seng right now. Let's go to the Hang Seng right now, okay? The bull goes moo, the bear goes grr, and the lemming goes is different this time. Let's look at the market right now. Okay, let's go. Okay, first of all, let's look at the China A50 first. There we go. Now, China A50 this morning has gapped down a little bit, Okay, no call for concern, but they just down a little bit. So that means for sure Hang Seng should also be trading a bit lower. Let's settle with Hang Seng right now. Okay. Yeah, hold on, I'm having a bit of a problem with my this. Okay, Hang Seng this morning has gapped down, but it's now trading higher. Okay, let's look at the chart today. Now, if you look at the chart for today, this morning, you can see that the opening price for Hang Seng this morning is between the pivot 1 and pivot 2. KSI is red in color. KSI is red in color. So by default, above OP, CCRY will be a buy, but because the KSI is green in color, so what we do, we need to just remember take your profit, all right? Okay, that means that this is the opening price. So if the market goes up, it will go up to this pivot 1, but because the KSI is happen to be red in color, so KTR plus 1 will be a good profit level. If not, then KTR plus 2 maximum. Okay, all right. Now, of course, if the market goes below OP later on and so, right, it's a very good chance you go to KTR minus 1 easily. And of course, it can also go all the way down to the pivot 2 level. It is possible. Okay, so let's go to the 15-minute chart, shall we? A 5-minute chart, sorry, for Hang Seng is 5 minutes. Okay, so very, very fast. The market, once it opened, immediately it has shot up to KTR plus 1. Very, very fast, rapid movement. Right, it seems that there's some buying interest this morning. Okay, there's some buying interest in the Hang Seng this morning. Now, the Hang Seng KTR minus 1 is 25,645 level. So traders can take note of that, 25,645. Okay. All right. So for Hang Seng now already hit the KTR plus 1. The maximum, I think it will be able to go is 25,892. Now, this is based on statistically, because the KSI is red, so we kind of like think that the maximum you may go will be around here. So if I say, if I were to draw this chart, okay, in favor of this, then we're going to see maybe you can get some resistance around here, and then they may pull back. Okay, it may pull back. All right, all this thing is just only my personal view, so we see how it goes. But at the moment now, this is what's happening right now. Okay, for the Hang Seng. Morning to you, Alex. Okay, let's go at the Hong Kong conventional chart first. Now, the conventional chart shows very, very clearly that the market rebounded off that BNB extension, and now it's back up to the BNB SL. So again, you look at it, right? This is a 700 points recovery, about 700 points. And you can see that if you have purchased it, you have already made 700 points for yourself. It's as simple as that. But of course, we do not have this technique that by hit the BNB extension recovery, we do not have this trade, but we know that the market has bottomed out recently around this area. Hence, therefore, right, if it goes up, it may be coming to this junction, which already have happened. Okay, so now for MLP for today. Now, yesterday, the MLP was here, and that's why the market shoot up. So today, what should we do? We'll follow through. We put MLP here. This is MLP for Hang Seng. All right. So as long Hang Seng stays above MLP, Hang Seng should be able to go higher. That's what it means. Okay. All right. Now this is the Hang Seng MA30. Now Hang Seng MA30 is very, very nearby, 26,011. All right, very nearby. It is possible for Hang Seng to trade to the MA30. All right, it is very possible. Now, last few days, we saw the Hong Kong market have been coming down, and I did say this to you guys that 3 days ago, I said the Hang Seng is time to buy back your short position, and I also mentioned that the Chinese stock is to buy. So I think yesterday there was some a few messages going around and said that other traders also calling for buy in China A50. To me itself, we already called for buy 2-3 days ago. So okay lah. So we are all pretty in line now. But for me itself, right, I don't think this is the starting or the bottom of the market. Although traditional indicators shows that this is the previous low. Okay, hold on. Conventional learning is that this is previous low, and this is the recent low. So it's like created a double bottom here. But I'm not that comfortable yet, because I say if this movement was coming down together with the US market, right, then I would say yes. But because the US market now is a record level here, so I kind of still think that we need to be very careful, especially this point here. If the market failed to cross the moving average, right, MA30, right, it could actually slip on and then bring it down again. It is actually very possible. That's why we did say that we cover back shorts first, and then if you want to turn long, you can do that. But then to call for absolute bottom at this point right now, right, I kind of I don't really agree lah. Okay, that's my personal view here. Okay. All right. Again, everybody got their own reason and view of any market. So you do your own due diligence. Okay. All right. Now, China A50, let's take a look. China A50 this morning. Now, let's take a look. China A50 came down. Also, it went down to the BNB extension, and then now it recovered. Now, yesterday, it was above the MLP. That's why you see China A50 going higher. Now, today, we will put in the MLP for today. This is the MLP for today. Can you see that? This is MLP. Let me get a bit more precise. Okay, so as long as the market stays above MLP for today for China A50 is still going to be able to go higher. Now, the MA30 is also pretty nearby. So this is the MA30 level. So as long as the market stays below the MA30 level and below OP, I'm still on the favor to sell. But of course, if the market can stay above OP, then it might be going towards the MA30 level. So these are how we actually look at the market. It's not about whether, well, we don't have any, it doesn't have any like, a view of the market. I think a view is when the market is trending downwards, you look to sell when the market recovers or rallies, all right? So now, obviously, this is a downtrend for the China A50. So I would rather prefer to buy low to cover back shorts and then let it go up. If you want to buy, you can buy some. But once it hit the MA30 and if it doesn't go up, right, then usually the selling will come in. So that is why you do your preparation work and not say that, okay, I think this is the bottom now, let's buy now. You'll go up to like 70,000, 18,000. The type of forecast, honestly, I don't do, all right? Okay, I don't do because, it's just like as if you're guessing the game, all right? So just take note of that. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing right now for China A50. And also I talked about the Hong Kong earlier, but Hong Kong is still moving higher. So you can see that the China A50 is down, but the Hong Kong is going up. So you cannot put them side by side to trade. Sometimes it doesn't really pace. Okay. All right. So that is what we do. I'll look at in Hong Kong later on. Let's look at the okay, but here, what do you want? The Hang Seng MA30, is it? Okay, the Hang Seng MA30 is about 26,011 around there. The MLP 25,560 around here. Okay, all are estimate prices. Okay. Now the reason why I don't type is because if it's not near enough, I won't type. Like if it's near, then or it's going to be important, then I will text. Yeah. So you see, I didn't text. Not every day I will text. All right. Okay. 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 All right. Done. Okay. So let's look at the US market right now. Okay. Now US market today is a concerning factor. Okay. Concerning factor. Okay. Why? Because yesterday, the closing price is a doji. I repeat, Yesterday, the closing price is a doji. Okay, this is something that you must take note. Wait, wait. Yeah, all the slighter lines are. So let me just delete. Okay, I like my chart clean as possible. All right, so yesterday is a doji day. So it's a doji day, that means that your MLP is going to be very, very tight, apparently. So it's as good as almost the same identical level here. All right, the MLP is at 35,371, which is like now it's being triggered, right? Okay, then the MA30 is here, which is about 35,180. Okay, so this one I'll write down because it's pretty nearby. It's a big concern. Okay, so the MA30 is 35,180. Okay, this is the MLP. Sorry, this is the MA30. The MLP is as good as yesterday's closing, 35,371. Now, all these are not drawn to scale. This is just only a rough estimated level, okay? All right, if you want to get the precise number, you must go ahead and do it your own mathematics yourself. Okay, so I'm going to key this for you guys. Dow MLP is estimated at 35,371. The MA30 is estimated at 35,180. Okay, so today, because it's a doji day, Dow is a doji yesterday. Do expect a potential, not 100% DD. Okay, DD means that directional day. So very, very simple. Above OP, the market will generally go higher. If it's below OP, it will go lower. Now, if you look at the chart today, I can tell you the numbers that we can take note. Okay, if the market stays above OP, right, very easily, likely it will go back to test the BNB again, which is at 35,616. Okay, 35,616. Okay, now if it goes down, then because the market is still bullish, right, it may come down to this point here, which is about 35,228. Can see that? Okay, so if the Dow Jones is to go up today, it may be up by at least 200 to 300 points. If it go down today, mathematically speaking, it may be down like 140 points. Okay, so you can see that now. You can see the numbers here. 35,616 or 35,228. So you make your call. All right, the MA 35,180 is pretty nearby. So I kind of thinking that even it comes down, right, the market will still find a reason to buy up. Okay, so that's the reason why I say for the for the Dow Jones today, watch the opening price carefully, and also the two numbers to watch out for is 35,616 and 35,228. Okay, these are the two technical level the Dow Jones may be going today. All right, if everybody is clear, please key the word clear, CLEAR. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much for putting up the clear. Now, okay. Good to see you again, Jody. Long time don't see. Okay, so we have done on the Dow Jones. Let's look at the weekly chart. Now, this is the weekly chart that I've been talking about, and apparently there is some retracement of the blue trend line, but it's still firmly above the main trend line. So again, there's no reason to panic. Okay, no reason to panic. So let's just live with it. Okay, this is very, very, very important. Okay, all right. Okay, so now we look at the today's market. Hold on. Now my computer, I think, need to restart again. There's something like a bit of not very functioning. I didn't turn on for the whole entire day yesterday, so it's kind of like not really functioning well. Need to restart later. Okay, so what we see on the Dow Jones today, the opening price of the Dow Jones this morning is between the pivot 1 and pivot 2. So, but the KSI is green in color. So by default, she should be going up. I repeat, if the market stays above OP, very good chance the Dow can be going to 35,599, which is pretty in line with the 35,616 I mentioned earlier. Okay, so you should take note. Now, if the market really chooses to go down for whatever reason, then the downside could go back down to 35,076. But because the KSI is green in color, right, I kind of thinking that the downside limitation will be about -1 to -2 for the KTR. Okay, I don't think it'll go down that much. Okay, I don't think so. All right, so got it? This is something that you must take note of that. All right. Okay, so let's look at the China A50 again. Now, China A50 is still kind of down, slightly below the OP, but it's kind of still staying low. Okay, Hang Seng, let's take a look. Hang Seng has tried to go above the BNB SL, but seemingly a bit of resistance there, but still firmly above the OP. So things are still looking fine at the moment for Hang Seng. Okay, all right, so all is good. Let's just now move to NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ, I told you it will still continue to go higher, and indeed it really went. It went to a new high yesterday again because MLP is here, all right, and the market stays above MLP is good, all right. So I know that my speech is blocking you a little bit, but that's the max I can do. Okay, so now what to do is that now the MLP, I just shift it up all the way to here. Now the MLP is at about 15,350, 15,350. So it's very near. I can write down for you, okay? 15,350 is the MLP for the NASDAQ, okay? The MA30 is here. MA30 is 15,091, okay? 15,091. So as long as the NASDAQ can stay above 15,350, it should be fine. So NASDAQ MLP is estimated 15,350. Okay, 15,350. Okay, so we're kind of nearby. As long as the NASDAQ stays above it, it's fine. Okay, so traders, you just have to watch NASDAQ. If it stays above 15,350, it's pretty okay. Yeah, pretty okay. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ day chart right now. You can see that my system today is kind of slow down, not the usual speed. Okay, here we go. Now, NASDAQ today, the opening price is again between pivot 1 and pivot 2, and the KSI is green. So which means that the market is still going to be leaning towards the buy side. So as long as the market stays above 4P, there is a chance for the NASDAQ to continue to rise to 15,116. But if the market do take profit today, then 15,242 will be the support level. All right, for NASDAQ, it's because you have been pushing up, right? And the movement getting smaller and smaller and tighter. I kind of suspect that there won't be much movement unless there is a sudden program profit taking. If not, it should be still okay. All right. Now, S&P 500. Now, S&P 500 yesterday hit new record high. The high was 45.96. So it's missed by 4 points to hit 4,500. All right, 4,500 is the upper band of most of the top analysis call. All right, 4,500. Of course, Tom Lee is still sticking his guns at 4,600. I believe that day will happen. But I still think that a pullback with reasonable level back to the MA30 will be a good time for us to look for buying. If you want to chase right now, I would not suggest. Okay, I would not suggest. Okay, but again, we follow rules. Okay, so now let's take a look here. First of all, this is the MLP for today. This MLP for today. All right. Though this is not a doji. S&P is not a doji. S&P is just a normal candle. All right. Then this is the MA, okay, which is here at about 44.36 level. Okay, so for today, MLP is write down for you. Is about 44.87, which we now around there. So which means that if the market stays below 44.87, by right, there should be some profit taking. By right, there should be some profit taking on the S&P, okay? Now, even if profit take, the MA30 44.36 for today is seemingly pretty strong because the last time we see this, the market rebounded, and rebounded this time again. So that's why I really think that you really have to have great faith in your this MA32. So whenever you see such a thing happening, such a phenomenon happening, you will know that why the market hits a certain technical level and then rebounds. Okay, this one you have to have faith in that. That's very, very, very important. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, so I can see some movement again on Hong Kong. China A50, let's take a look again. Now, China 50 have missed the MLP by a bit and recovered. That's why I tell you the MLP is so, so important. And for Hong Kong now is staying above MLP, is trading and pushing it through. So that's why I say as long as it's above MLP and above OP, right, the market in general is going to be more towards the buying side. Okay, all right. So that is what's happening right now. Okay, let's look at the Hong Kong again. I know that you guys are into Hong Kong. Let's look at Hong Kong 5-minute chart and let's take a look. Here we go. All right, pretty firm, pretty strong. All right, it's trying to test KTR +2, which I think that you may test later on. Okay, as long as the market stays above OP, there's no reason for you to go for any sell position. This one you have to know that. Very, very important. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the DAX market. Now, DAX yesterday complete itself a doji. Very clear it's a doji. So you need to put a doji today. Okay, somewhere the same price, almost there, identical. Now the MA30 for today is about here at 15,771. 15,771, that is the support level for the DAX. I'm going to write it down for you, okay? 15,771 for DAX. Okay, I'll write down for you. DAX MA30 estimate at 15,771. Okay, here we go. Okay, so as long as the market stays above 15,771, or it may come down and test it, all right, it will be a good level to buy up. Okay, I repeat, it could be a good level to buy up. So which means that if the DAX go down, it touches the MA, it touches the MA, it may stay around there and they may go up again. So traders, look out for that. Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on. Okay, Okay, guys, sorry, I just talking to my wife for a while. Okay, so we are clear with this. Watch out for DAX, okay, 15,771 level. Okay, all right, that's all for the DAX side. Okay, let's look at the Nikkei. Now, Nikkei has went up this morning and now it has pulled back. Now, Nikkei is now trading around the opening price level. Now, today's Nikkei, if you look at it today, this is the Nikkei. Now, yesterday Nikkei was above MLP. That's why Nikkei goes higher yesterday. Now, today the MLP, let me just change the color to something better, clearer. Okay, the MLP for today, Nikkei, is somewhere around here, which is about 27,709. And the MA30 happened to reside somewhere at the same level at 27,710 level. So what I'm seeing is that as long as the Nikkei stays above the MLP and the MA30 today, we are okay. But if the Nikkei goes below MLP and the MA30, then there should be some selling, okay? There should be some selling on the way. So what's the level again? 27,710, okay? All right, so write down for you, Nikkei, important support, because it's MLP and MA30 combined at 27,000. Now all these levels are for today only. All the above levels are for today's market only. Okay, so noting that, do not hold it then and then use it as a form of guidance for tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. Okay, all right, that is how it works. Precious. Okay, all right, so there we go. We have all the indices covered already, so take note of that. All right, let's go to the commodities right now, which is like the metals. Now, this is the gold market this morning. All right, let me just explain to you how it works again. Now, if you look at it, yesterday, the MLP was here at 17,092. So that's why the gold stabilized itself above the MA200. And that's why gold went to the high of 1809 yesterday from the high of the opening price 1805 area. Then, but today we have a problem, guys. Today we have a problem. We have the MLP, which is seemingly forming a doji, I think, possible. We need to count. All right, the MLP is 1804, 1804, okay? The market today opening price is 1802 and is trading below the MA200. I repeat, it's trading below the MA200 level. Now, trading below the MA200 level is not a very good thing because MA200 is supposed to be a longer term MA, and if the market stays below it, there is some selling pressure. So now the MA200 level is about 1804. So which means that right, we have the MLP and the MA200 basically holding down gold. So if gold stays down, gold has the potential to drop down all the way. Okay, it has the potential to drop down all the way to the MA30, which happened to reside at 1785. So now I'm going to write down all the technical points for you. So today, the key level is 1804. The market has to stay above 1804 for the gold to continue its upside. If gold stays downside, then gold may go down to 1785 region. Okay, 1785. Okay, 1785 region. So traders, you need to think of that. 1785 is the MA30 level. So I write it down for you now. Gold, key resistance at 1804, MA30 support at 1785. Okay. All right. Take note of that. Okay. All right. So that's why gold today must hold up. If not, 1785 could be next. Now, if gold won't go down to 175, is it a good buy? Well, it is. If the gold come down to here and it stabilizes itself, right, it could be a good buy up again towards the previous high, the previous cycle high, which is here. Okay. All right. Just so take note of that. Okay. All right. Just saw Hang Seng just went up higher. Hang Seng has just shoot up higher. Let's take a look. Okay, Hang Seng has continued march up now. It's now 25,930. Wow. Okay, going up nearer and nearer to the MA30. I did say earlier as well, right? There is a small potential for Hang Seng to go towards the MA30 level. It is a small potential for that to happen. Okay. All right. Then China A50. Let's take a look. Okay. Wow. Okay. China A50 has just recovered. China is recovering. Now it's off the MLP. It didn't touch MLP at all, but it shows that there's strength in the market. That's why now the market is recovering strongly up. All right, strongly up itself. So as long as the market stays above the MLP for China A50, the market should be able to recover. Okay. All right, some have lost ground recently. Okay, let's look at the gold for today. Okay, gold for today. Let's take a look at the day chart first. Now, today's day chart, you also notice that, okay, we have also another issue here. for the gold day chart. Now, the opening price for this morning for gold is actually below P21803. So which means that today below OP, below P2 is a sell. Below OP, below P2 is a sell on gold. But the KSI is green and there's no blue bars. So which means that the downside will be kind of limited between KTR -1 to KTR -2. All right, take note of that. But it's still below OP, below OP, below P2 by default. It's a sell already when the market opens. Okay, you don't need it for GTH. You can just activate trades because it's a classic trade. But you can see from this morning, once it opened, there is no form of CCYR anywhere. It's immediately the market sold down. So if you want to short gold, then you have to wait for it to basically create a CCYR first, then you can short gold. If not, you can't do anything right now based on the TWB technique. Of course, if you use discretional trade that you want to sell anywhere randomly, that one is up to you. Then you have to take note of your own stop loss and make sure that you just trade according to your own plan. Okay. All right. This is very, very important. But you can see the market really came down to KTR -1 and then it stabilized there and recovered. That's why, because the KSI is green and also there's no blue bar, so the market will find some base around the KTR -1 level. The next base will be at -2, which is 1788. Okay, 1788 is pretty one of the level that I just mentioned, 1784. That's pretty nearby. Okay. All right, so that is the gold chart for you. Let's look at silver. Silver has recovered a little bit more, right? Silver, interestingly, the gold didn't move much, but the silver went up higher. I told you it's more of a speculation. But if you follow a rule above MLP, above OP, you can buy. So silver yesterday was a kind of a buy. And for today, MLP is somewhere around here. It's about 123.73. So now the silver is trying to touch base. And of course, if you know the Fibonacci, it's pretty near to the MA30. The MA30 is about $24.05. Okay, so with all the above, it just shows that, right, silver, as long as it stays about $23.73, silver can go and test the MA30 level at $24.05. Okay. All right, so that's all we have for silver too, but it kind of like find some support at the moment. So for those who want to sort of silver craze guys, you can consider to do some speculative buy whenever silver drops down to around this area, which is about $22 to $23 level. Okay, so we have silver already done for you, commodities done. Let's look at the crude oil price. Now, crude oil continued to stay up yesterday above MLP, broke the MA30, MA200 and resisted beautifully at MA30. Look at it, the way it broke and the way it went up, $1.70. So simple as that. Break the MA200, you just buy up crude oil, hit the MA30, you take some profit, $1.70 run. Just as simple like this. All right, so pretty cool, right? Yeah. Okay, so now what we do for today. Now today you can see that it's trading above the MA200. It's trying to test the MA30. So by right, because the upside of the BNB is not triggered before, so which means that there is a possibility if the crude oil stays up, it breaks above the MA30, it should be able to reach $70.12 because that is the BNB extension. Okay, that's a BNB extension at $70.12. Okay, all right, the MA30 level, let's bring it in. The MA level is about $67.65. Okay, let me just put it there. $67.65. Okay, so I'll write it down for you. Crude resistance at estimate 67.65. Okay, support at estimate 65, 68. That is the MA200. Okay, there we go. All right, so I have all the numbers for you already. Okay, all right. So that's all look at our crude. Now, do note once again, if crude oil price come down, usually equity market come down. If crude oil price goes up, equity market usually will go up. Okay, so this one just to take note of that. Extra trivia for you. Okay, all right. So that is all the indices and all the crude oils, commodities are done for you. All right, hope you enjoyed this part of the session. Okay, all right. Now we're going to go into the global news. If you are going to stay on, just give me 10 seconds, water break. All right, cheers. Okay, guys, I'm back. All right, let's just look at the global news right now. Okay, first of all, yesterday the new home sales was within expectations, 708, kind of good. That's why the stock market recovered a little bit. Okay, went up higher. So today we're going to have is the durable goods order. Now the durable order, do take note, it has been going down since the last few weeks. Been down from 3% to 1.6% and keep on going down. Now, core durable goods order measure the exchange of the total value of new orders for the long-lasting manufactured goods. So it means that a higher reading indicates increase of manufacturing activity. Hence, therefore, a lower rate will means that the manufacturing is not doing that well. Okay, right. So just want to take note of that. So traders just take note of that. The last few weeks doesn't really do that well. Okay, all right. So my personal take is this should be around 0.4% in my opinion. Okay. Now Thursday we have the GDP numbers for the second quarter. Okay, in terms of quarter to quarter, in terms of how is it looking like, and of course on Friday, Jerome Powell will be speaking at the Symposium, and that's where everybody is watching it very, very closely. Okay. All right, so this is the Dow Jones as of yesterday. The Dow Jones went ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. It was really between a 50 points range yesterday. It was really incredible. 50 to 60 point range is very, very, very tight. So why is that so? Because market is just waiting to see what to do next. Okay, waiting what to do next. They're not looking to buy anything or sell anything because doing anything right now is kind of carry risk. It's not really necessary to take that risk at the time being. Okay, it's something to take note of. Okay, so first of all, stocks still went higher because of the Pfizer news, and the Dow Jones still stay a bit higher. Okay, now basically the Chinese stock led the upside yesterday. Yesterday, a lot of counter went out, like Pinduoduo up by 22%. Wow, okay. JD up by 14.4%. And this Tencent and Baidu all went up yesterday. Now, yesterday, 3 days ago, I already mentioned to you guys that China share should be recovering soon, right? Remember that? If you remember that I did say that the China share will go up again, and you keep it spot on China share for me. If you remember, okay, if you remember that I showed you the chart, I told you that most likely we're going to see a recovery, a temporary dead cat rebound on Chinese share. Can you put on that spot on China shares? At least I can use this for my marketing to show that, we really talk about this. Okay, that's of course if you remember. All right, so there is a follow-through buying apparently, but then again, do note, let me say this again, do note that it's not the end yet because the regulatory bodies, the governing bodies are still not there yet. And I'm not too sure, this just now I just happened to glance at tabloid, okay, tabloid. It shows that Kamala Harris did say that, okay, I repeat, this is just only a tabloid, I haven't verified the thing yet, seemingly sounded that US and China ain't friends, okay, directly from her. So I'm not too sure is it tabloid or just someone pick out context, but this is not good. Of course, again, this could be a smoke screen that people think on it, but if let's say it's true, then I seriously think that there will be another wave of selling later again, because there's no jury result of this. So it's more like a dead cat rebound than a buy on full asset. All right. Now, the second quarter earnings for the season now is winding down, and 90% have reported good earnings, reasonable earnings, and a good chunk of them are up by 94.7%. So overall, it's good, okay? But later on in the alternate market views, right, something a bit different. Okay, I'll tell you more of that. All right, but the problem is that now because everybody is just relatively quiet because everybody is now waiting to see what to see during the Jackson Hole Symposium. All right. Some meme stock went up. Of course, these are all speculated stocks. Okay. All right. Up by 27% and 20%. This is very typical things happening. So now investors are all waiting because they want to know whether or not this central banks are going to give out any form of guidance for their tapering. Okay. But do remember that Federal Reserve is still putting in $120 billion of bond buying program. Now, of course, this bond buying program, right, 80 billion go to one side, 40 billion go to the other side. All this money will stimulate the economy. And because of that itself, right, that's why the stock market is still going up. Because when you put out bonds buying means that, right, any bonds in the market is available. Where the bonds are being sold or bought by the Federal Reserve, the money will be taken and they will spend in the stock market. So if the stock market goes higher, everybody is happy. All right, but again, you keep on doing this, it's going to just cause a big problem later. But before that itself, do understand, even as a taper, it's still putting money. So 120 billion, taper 20 billion, it will cost a bit of dent initially, but it's still 100 billion coming in. And they only look at it as, okay, I taper for one time, I see how it goes, then I see whether the markets can take it or not. If not, I can just continue to do a dovish taper, which means that I can still put 100 billion for 4 or 5 months, then maybe later on reduce to 90 billion. And that will cause the market to still continue to go higher. So this one, you must understand the very important part. Thank you, Anthony, Jerry, and Chong Ming for actually doing that for me, all right? Okay, so what we see in the Dow Jones yesterday is the KSI is green and the pivot 1 and pivot 2 is, there's a very big white, it's a very big, I call considered a very big range. Okay, so yesterday, nothing much to tell you about because the market did not do anything that is spectacular. All right, nothing spectacular, no triggering anywhere except OP. The only thing that I can pick it up for you to just for your remember to take note is this guy here. Can you see this guy? You notice that this guy is a BNB, which also happened to be the low of the day, and it did trigger CCRY. But of course, the upside was kind of limited initially. But if you put a stop loss properly, you will not be stopped out. And then after that, when the market recover again, it went up. It came back down again, ding dong, and then goes up. So the thing is this, don't you realize that we see a lot of time whereby the BNB of the day happen to be the low or happen to be the high of the day. And if you actually do a speculative trade, you can actually make some money out of it. Okay, but of course you have to have the nerve of steel to go in the market. But if not, yesterday was pretty down. All right, definitely it's a doji day. That's the reason why we need to watch out. Okay, I said many times ago, when the market is going too smoothly and easily, we're going to see a doji sooner or later. And when a doji appear already, right, what will happen? The market will tell you that there's another big movement coming in. So there is going to be a big movement coming in for the US Dow Jones. I'm pretty sure of that. Now for gold, yesterday we had the KSI is green in color and it's above pivot 1. So by default, it is a buy. Now, by the way, yesterday, the Dow Jones, you can take a look at here, the pivot 1 is too high, pivot 2 is below, so there's no much triggering. But for gold yesterday, the pivot 1 is actually at the bottom. So by right and by default, above OP, CCRY is a buy. So what happened yesterday? Well, it didn't really happen that way. Once it opened already, right, it went down. So initially, if you bought it here, you will have stop out, okay, lose money. Then after that, it stays below OP for most part of the day already, okay? It stays below OP, Then it only when it comes to this point here, CCRY, then that's where you buy your gold. Your stop loss, if you put it here, you will get stop out. You put it a bit lower, you may not get stop out. But the point is this, when the market recovers again, you can still buy because stop out, right? But you can still buy. The gold did went up by about $2.50, but after that stays stabilized, couldn't go up, and then come back down again, and your stop loss will be triggered. So which means that yesterday, right, it's one of those days whereby the market CCRY for buy above OP didn't really work. And of course, by closing near the opening price, likely tells me that, there's no meat at all. The KTR plus 1 is on top, the KTR minus 1 is below, so the market did not even go to any of KTR. So which again, most likely is a doji, hence therefore traders to watch out. Okay, normally if you see such a thing itself, today you have to watch already. I repeat, today you have to watch, okay? All right, there's some selling in Hong Kong right now. Let me just jump back to Hong Kong for a while because someone just texted me on Hong Kong side. Let's take a look. Okay, the China A50 first. Now the China A50 has pulled back a little bit. China A50 has pulled back a little bit, right? But Hong Kong, interestingly, has reversed all its gains this morning. I repeat, Hang Seng has reversed all its gains this morning. And for those who have attended, my little Hong Kong sharing, you will know what to do. I'll explain to you guys what is looking forward from this Hong Kong thingy. But you can see that just now I did say that if Hong Kong is to go up, right, it will go to KTR +1, which happened already. Then next one is the most KTR +2, which also happened. And now it stopped here perfectly. And most likely it's going to come down. So the first target will be first OP lah. If it go down further, it should be able to come down to KTR -1 level. And that's 25,645, something that I mentioned earlier. Okay, all right. I'll come to that later. Okay, here we go. Done. All right, so the thing is this, let's look at the global news right now. Now, this is interesting. US Vice President Kamala Harris' trip from Singapore to Vietnam delayed over an anomalous health incident. Now, I'm not too sure what happened, so I ran through it. So apparently, this anomalous health incident is a term of the US government often used to describe the Havana syndrome, a condition with symptoms such as dizziness, nausea, migraines, and memory lapse. And so name it because it was first reported by American official based in the US Embassy in Cuba in 2016. So it is just like a point whereby it's like apparently like a radiation beam that sweep across people and people get sick, apparently. So the best part is I saw this little sharing put that the CIA, sees a very strong possibility that the syndrome is intentionally caused and that Russia could be responsible, but is withholding definitive conclusions pending further investigation. And of course, Moscow immediately denied involvement. Wow. Wow. I mean, serious. Okay. You know, I mean, we saw her, she was okay. Then when she went back up, we have Singapore, we have some ponding issue, but that's ponding only, but wow. So when I see this, it's like, okay, pretty James Bond feeling. So I hope that she's well. I hope that all the people there are okay. All right. This is very interesting here. Now, Taliban will no longer allow Afghan to go to the Kabul airport anymore. Yes, indeed. Now, the thing is that Joe Biden at one moment says that he has already done all his things. He's very sure that he meet the deadline. But after that, again, he said that he may extend the departure deadline. So he's making the Taliban a bit pissed off, okay? All right, but Taliban already say, no more. Close. Afghanistan, the Afghans are not allowed to go. Foreigners can go, but they will not allow the nationals to go, okay? No way, all right? So it seems like this is happening right now in the Afghanistan, all right? So apparently the more, and we just saw that Joe Biden did do another media, press conference. He was late by 4 hours. And then after that, when he came in, he talked for 6 minutes and he again did not answer any question, just walk off. So this is actually pissing people off because we all know that obviously the journalists are not going to give him face because they're going to whack him hard. All right, but the point is this, all right, he has to be firm with whatever he wants to do with this Taliban. All right, he has to be firm. If not, right, his rating will just going to drop. Really not worth it. Now, this one is picked up from the somewhat incident this morning. Apparently now, right, this is from Channel News Asia about food inflation. Now, really, if you didn't notice that the food prices in Singapore, especially like all the meat, poultry, has increased in price. All right, so Sabrina Yin, actually from the South Asian Director, US Meat Export Federation, came out and said that the price did go up between 5 to 30%. Wow, okay. And of course, we have the COVID cases right now. Incredibly, we were like very low numbers. Suddenly, the local community jumped up by 111 cases. Oh my God, this is really scary. We were down, right? Then suddenly, the number just shoot up, okay? And we thought that it's more the dormitories, but no, actually it's not. So guys, please put on your mask and stay safe, okay? All right, and of course, there's a sudden surge of death recently because of the Delta variant. In fact, this month itself, 12 people has passed on because of this. So guys, please stay safe, okay? All right, this is all the important news for local and global news. So what is the reason to stay bullish for now? Let's take a look. Now, this is going to be interesting. Now, Chinese stock rally, as you see, Jingdong.com and Alibaba surged by 9%. Now, I already mentioned Alibaba shares will recover. Let's look at Alibaba shares for a moment. Let's take a look. Okay, this is Hong Kong still moving downwards potentially. Let's look at Alibaba first. Alibaba, here we go. Okay, remember I told you, right, Alibaba will have a recovery soon. I told you that Alibaba will have a recovery, and I mentioned that. And of course, yesterday we can see our TWB system already tell you that Alibaba yesterday was opening price was above pivot 1. So yesterday when the market opened, right, Alibaba shares should go higher. Indeed, it went up. All right, so you can see that Alibaba shares really went up. I did say that we should see some form of a bit of support at around this price, remember? Here, let me just show it to you. I told you, right, we should see some support around this price. Remember, this is the range that I mentioned about this 150 level. So indeed, it really happened, okay? But is this going to be the bottom? I don't think so. I repeat, I don't think so. This is a bottom. I believe that there's some more selling later. A recovery, a dead cat rebound is a must in all market, but will it stabilize there? I don't think so. So my personal view on Alibaba, okay, is I see it will recover a bit more, maybe to 179, 180 level around there. And then after that, it will go down again. Now, I think that this time around, if you want to really talk about real level, we should see 130 first. If we can see Alibaba at 130 level, then maybe we can consider to buy 130 level. All right, 130 means it can be 129, 128, 127, it doesn't matter, but it's around there. But the price now is at 171. So upside potential is 180, downside potential is 130. Okay, though this is my personal take, I write it down for you guys. Now, all these are my personal take, so let's think of it. Okay, upside estimate 180, downside estimate 130. Okay, so at least I share with you my view on Alibaba. Okay, done. All right, so why the share goes up? It's just basically a technical rebound, because the Hang Seng Index slipped into the bear territory, dropped by 20% from the February high. And then after that, now it has recovered, but it's still down 80%. And of course, the reason sell because of the China tightening regulatory regime, and also plus the relationship between China and US. So overall, it's all right. People say they're looking for value. Now, value investment means that you buy things at cheaper level and you think that you can hold for longer term. But for trader level, we want to buy as low as possible to capture the market. So it's different between us, okay? Now, the thing is this, they are saying that the US market is kind of like very fearful because of all the Jackson Hole and stuff. They feel that Asian market are not as frothy as US. Okay, so this is what the view. All right, now I kind of think this way lah. They are not wrong to say that Asia are not as frothy, but if the US market is to fall in a very bad way, then obviously there is a very good chance that these counters will also go down, right? I mean, seriously, if the US catch a cold, the whole will get a fever. So I don't really buy this part, but I just say that if its price goes down and deep enough, yeah, it's like Alibaba at $130, you can just try the top level. Now, of course, I don't think Alibaba will become zero rise, that's for sure, okay? Now, mutual funds are piling into the stock. Now, this one, take notice, and this part here itself, right, Goldman Sachs are actually telling you what stock people are buying. In the later part in the alternate market, right, Goldman Sachs tell you that what people are selling. In fact, Goldman Sachs recently have been very active. Okay, you'll be very interesting to see these two parts. Okay, now let's take a look. Now, for Goldman Sachs, it's feel that right, there are funds that are piling into all these counter, like Morgan Stanley, Match, General Electric, Target, United Health Group, Lloyd, and General Motors, TJX, and Visa. All right, these are the counters that mutual funds seemingly are overweight, meaning they're looking to buy. All right, so these are value stocks apparently. So new stock into the basket is Target, Market Group, and Allstate. All right. Now Visa is still the most weighted lah. What's Visa? You know, we need Visa, we need this and stuff like that. So end of the day, it seems that these are the top counters for you to look out for. So if guys you take a picture of this, you can do it right now. All right, these are the counters that the market seemingly are pretty comfortable with. Okay. All right, now Santoli is a market correspondent for CNBC, and he says that right, the investors are still very aggressive to buy on the dip. Apparently, they're still pretty aggressive to buy on the dip. So apparently, this was happening right now. So Santoli says that right, the S&P year-to-date annualized gain is about 30%. It's pretty positive. It's good. And recently, the market dropped by 2%, and immediately you saw the market coming back to buy. So the market wanted to drop it by 5%, but you can see the market hit 2% down already, the market coming to buy. So that means that the buying interest is still very strong. And of course, they feel that the dry powder of the cyclical stocks has fallen a lot. And obviously, this could be a good time to buy into again. So again, you can see every time the market down by a couple of 1 or 2% only, the buyers come in because they don't want to lose it. They want to make money. And they know that as long as they stay by, can't be too wrong. And of course, this week is the 10th anniversary of the pretty crucial market low from the nasty 2011 correction. So apparently it says that, right, if there's going to be any form of rating, just traders just take note again, we are now at the higher level for time now, it's about 16.2%. The annualized, right? The last time we see something like this, let's take a look here, everybody. Hold on. Now, on the average itself at 16%, if we look at, we draw a simple line across at 16%. There we go. You can see that we do see when it happened, it was back in 1987, then that's where the Dow Jones collapsed. Then after that, again, it happens again in 1993. And then it happened again back in year 1999 during the Asia financial crisis and also the NASDAQ .bomb. Okay, so that means that there's still a bit of room to go. Apparently, there is a possibility for the market to go even to about 18 to 19% before we say the market is overbought. So that's the reason why some of the charties are still saying that the market is still go higher. Okay, so take note of that. Okay, so he said, and yesterday the market breadth is kind of positive. I repeat, yesterday, apparently, according to Santoli, the market breadth is kind of positive and the VIX is still staying at 17. All right, seemingly that the market is still pretty positive. All right, so that is the news for the all the data for the bullish side. Let's look at the alternate market views right now. Now, for alternate market views, again, now this is from Goldman Sachs, again, interesting. They are saying that Tesla, Moderna are among the hedge fund favorite stock to short as the investment strategy rebounds. Okay. So now, apparently, right, from Goldman Sachs again, now they're telling you that Tesla, S&P, Moderna, Netflix, Aeon, Comcast, Home Depot, IBM, Oracle, and JP Morgan. Hey, okay. So apparently, right, you look carefully, these are all the counters that's going up recently, right? So they're telling you that these are the counters that people are shorting. So whether you trust that or not, I'll leave it to you. Okay? Apparently, this is what's happening. So let's look at Tesla, right? Tesla. All right, Tesla is one of, I think, one of Yu Ming's personal favorite. Let's look at Tesla. Take a look. Now, this is Tesla. Okay, now recently, Tesla has tried to recover. It hit the low back then in May and it'll be recovering, but apparently it's seemingly stuck at 720 level. Okay, so let me just share you my personal view on Tesla. Okay, nothing to against anybody here. Disclaimer. Now, Tesla, if you look at it, the high the first time back in January this year was about 910. Okay. Then the next high, which is a bit substantial, is about 770 level. Okay, that is the second level. The third level now we are seeing is somewhere near here, and that's about 730 level. Okay, so you look at it, it's actually going down like that, while the NASDAQ is at 15,000 level. Okay, the NASDAQ is at 15,000. So two-pronged to this. One is maybe the NASDAQ, sorry, the Tesla is going to chase up and go past and go all the way up. Okay. Now, what if we are not correct? This recovery is not going to sustain and it goes down. Now, you look at it again, this is the previous low and that's about 537. This is the previous low, it's about 540. So my personal view is, if Tesla is to break down, Tesla will come down to somewhere around here, which is my view is about 580. Now, I would prefer to buy Tesla if it comes down to about 580. Now, do note Michael Burry have been shorting Tesla, but he's been wrong for the last 3 months. So that means that even big boys can get it wrong. But it doesn't mean that Cathie Wood got it right, because Cathie Wood bought much earlier. Unless you do average dollar crossing, then you're not right, she's still losing position. So I kind of think that 580 will be a very valuable price to look out for based on technical and fundamental. All right, so I'm gonna write it down for you. Tesla, my own opinion is to wait for 580. Now, I don't know when will this happen, but I'm just going to give you a figure. All right. Now at 707. Okay. All right. Done. Okay. Yeah? So that is my personal view on Tesla. Now, I'm not against this. I'm not against this. This Elon Musk against Tesla or against anything else. I'm just telling you that based on fact and figures versus the NASDAQ. If Tesla is going up on its own with the NASDAQ together, I think that's pretty good sign. But now it's seemingly not there. The point of profit taking will make more sense. And if you profit take, then you buy from the low, it'll be better, right? Don't you agree? Okay, yeah. All right, so Tesla is at top of the list of the hedge fund short. I mean, it'll be there for a long list of time. All right, so of course we know that Michael Burry through the his own asset management company is doing that. Okay, he actually owned a 730 million worth of put options against the Tesla by end of June. Okay, so obviously it didn't turn out well, right? Because end of June, you look at the data again. If end of June, you can see that the Tesla shares actually went up. Can you see that? Tesla share actually went up. So he actually lost money lah. Okay. All right. So this is something that take note of that. Okay. Next counter is Moderna. Okay. Moderna, I really cannot see how and why, but I do not have Moderna chart with me, but I do have this one. Just give me a short moment. Trading view. Okay, guys, this is Moderna share. We have a very big movement recently on the 27th of July, and the market is a heavy volume, but the market take it out and trade higher. So that means that there is a first base. There is a first base for Moderna shares somewhere around here. So as long as Moderna stays above 307, Moderna share will go higher, which really happened. Then the next one, the highest volume is on this day. Okay, so I put the closing price again. Now for me, my strategy is very simple. The day they have very big volume, I'll put at the closing price so that it tells me where is a real support and resistance at the moment right now. So you can see that the highest volume is here on this day. On the 11th of August, I put the line at the closing price. And this is why now Moderna, if you look at it carefully now, for Moderna, there is a form of support at about 384 range for Moderna. So if as long Moderna stays above the 384, I believe Moderna shares still got room to go higher because of all the things they're doing right now. But if the Moderna shares goes below 384, then I believe Moderna will come back down to at least $308. Okay, guys, so this one is for you to take reference. This is my upside and downside for Moderna. Okay. Yeah, pretty cool, right? Okay, all right. So that is the thing that what is shared by the boys. So a little bit down there, you make your own decision call. Okay, on there by the boys. So a little bit down there, you make your own. Okay, so let's just clear off the screen and let's go to the next one. Okay, now this is the more shorter stocks. Now recently, the more shorter stock have been going higher, right? So that's why now, could it be a time to short? Because if you look at it from the view of this is the high, this is the low recently. All right, so it's like, 1 area, 2 area, 3 and 4 and halfway, right? So the halfway mark will be 2 1/4. So 2 is already here, 1, 2, right? And 1/4 here. So we are actually near to the point of time to short the market. Okay. So if the market is the time to short, right, those counter that we saw earlier could be levels to take note to short. So that is my personal view is that it's time to look out to short, because when we want to short the market, right, we want it to be downtrend and we want it to come down and then we short here. This is what we do, because if it goes down, it will go down deeper. All right. So just to take note of that. Okay. All right. And of course, the 10-year yields have recovered all the way in. Now, the thing is this. Now, Michael Burry, basically, he shorted the bond market. So that means he expects the yield to go higher. Okay, the yield will go higher. And the last few days, the yields are actually going up from 1.23%. You can see that the yield of 1.23% has risen up to 1.29%. So it's kind of quite interesting because FOMC minutes, they expected the no tapering. Hence, therefore, you saw the yields coming off. But now the thing is that despite whatever it's been saying right now, right, the yields goes back, though this is not very healthy. So that means that there is some form of people getting worried in the market. And that's why the yields goes up, bonds come down, because people are getting worried. I repeat, people are getting worried. That's why the bond price comes down, yields goes up. So it's very, very important here. And because of that itself, right, you notice that the soft data is actually coming down. The hard data is interesting, recover a little bit, the hard data. It means that the market has some form of bottoming out, but the soft data are people thinking that, hey, you know, the survey, the sentiment is not that there. Sentiment is not hard data, it's soft data. So now the thing is this, for the major means of the Richmond Federal of Business Survey shows that the recent soft survey data dumping back to reality of the hard data disappointment as STIMIs run dry. So which means that, right, people now without STIMIs now, the stimulus packages, they may think that, okay, I better go back to work. And that's the reason why the soft data is coming down. But of course, when people go back to work itself, right, the hard data will start to base out. So it's a good thing. But when you do that itself, right, the stock market really has to come down so that it will balance the whole thing. Okay, it will balance the whole thing. And of course, you can see that this is the Citi Eco Surprise Indices. And you look at it from global to US to China to Euro, all of them, the last 5 months, the data is going down. I repeat, the data is going downwards. All right, so this is actually not favorable to the market. It's not favorable to the market. It means that economically, the data are all down for global, and this is actually very dangerous, okay? And the last one will be this. Okay, guys, take a look. Now, this is the Fear and Greed Index by CNN, and you can see that, right, interestingly, last week we have fear. 1 week ago, we have fear. 1 month ago, we have fear. 1 month ago, also fear. So why is there so much fear? I thought we are down at the stock market at a high, correct? Exactly. So two ways to look at it. One way is that because we have the fear now, if the market give off no tapering, the market will shoot up to extreme greed, and the stock market will go all the way up to maybe 35,000 to even 36,000. That's one way to look at it. On the other way, is that now, no matter what is happening, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the S&P is at a high level, but the people are getting worried. And so therefore, if there's going to be any nasty thing to happen in the stock market, right, people will hit for the hill. All right, so this one, you have to be very careful. It's very, very interesting to see that the indicator now is at the fear level, despite the record highs for the market. And that's the reason why you can see for the Goldman Sachs, they have a buy list, they have a sell list at the same time. So it's kind of like telling you is even the traders or the fund managers themselves, they also have this IF button, IF button. If it goes up, we do this. If it goes down, we do that, because that it should be the right way to do things. Okay? All right. So to wrap it up again, to just explain the Hang Seng thingy. All right, like I said, the Hang Seng Index trading was because some students realized that my Hang Seng trading in the MAO is kind of decently accurate. So they come forward individually to ask me how to trade Hang Seng. And the last time I do a Hang Seng class was many, many months ago already. All right. So I began to just teach 1, 2 on a random basis. They were happy with that. Then they proposed to me, why don't you just make a class and share? And there's a couple of them. So I said, okay, let's do it on a Super Tuesday. But I didn't know that, wow, suddenly so many people get interested in Hang Seng. Okay. So basically, in short, it's not that I don't do it in Zoom. It's just that because it was just like a ad hoc arrangement. Now, will I conduct it in Zoom level, right? I can consider doing that because end of the day, it's not just a subscription I'm looking at. It's just that I want you guys to make money. But Hang Seng itself is a very dangerous product. It can give you a lot of money. It can also give you a lot of hurt and imbalance and hurt you, emotionally. That's the reason why when you talk to me in person in the office, you can feel me better. But in Zoom, sometimes you may be not listening to me, or your mind is not with me. So I cannot gauge whether you're listening to me. In the office, I can see your face, I can see where you're coming from, I know your fear, I know your positioning, all your question on your head. So that's the reason why I prefer you to be in the office, that's all. But again, I understand that some of you from international, you want to learn Hang Seng. The people who are working, you want to learn Hang Seng. I understand it totally. And it's not nice now to actually take leave, because everybody now jobs is very important to you at this current right now. So I will consider to do a Zoom session for Hang Seng. Okay, I'll do it and I will arrange. I'll let you all guys know. All right. So like I say again, okay, like I say again, the main thing is why I asked those people who attended the Zoom, yesterday's session to give feedback, because I also want to know whether the idea a good job for the Hang Seng thingy, because it's been long moon ago I did this. Okay, so that is how I do it. Okay, it's nothing to do with the one to do. It's just that it was ad hoc basis. All right, so all clear. When would that happen? Like I say, let me find my schedule. I'll get back to all of you, and I hope that those people who have came down yesterday will have really enjoyed themselves. Okay, clear? I hope that I made myself very clear with this. Huh? Okay, all right, that'll be all for today. Take care. Have a great day. This is Cal signing off. Bye-bye. Oh, Hang Seng went down already? Okay, let's take a look, quick one. Hang Seng. Wow, so much. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. For those who wow, really, Hang Seng really came down. Congratulations for those who remember what I say. Congratulations. Okay. Excellent, guys. Well done. Okay, well done. Bye-bye.